Hey everyone, it's Zach and I'm back with another inspiration, and today's character is going to be inspired by two very unlikely crossover sources. As you can see, I've got Heihachi in a silly costume in Tekken 7, at least I think it was 7, and around at the same time, my wife, Aka, had found a fan-made TTRPG for, are you ready for this? The Owl House. So when she found this, we took a look at it and we started trying out the character creation to see if it would be good for the series, and the answer for that one is yes, but I decided to make my character based on the Heihachi costume. What you're going to be watching, however, is a redrawing of him, as it's been a few years since I drew him, and theoretically I have improved, quote unquote, on my drawing, so I'm going to be tracing over him while putting in some corrections and other details. I'm going to be starting with line variation because in the original there is a lot of heavy-handed strokes that don't add much depth, and the cross-hatching looks really messy, and I'm getting sidetracked again. Sorry about that, this is a character video, not an art critique. So I'm not a huge fan of the Owl House. I'd probably say more of a casual fan. I've seen clips of it in a few episodes, but from what I did see, I can say that 1, Disney are very stupid for cancelling it, and 2, it's a very fun and well-written show, because occasionally I have seen Aka watching a lore video about it, and it does seem like that there is a lot of love and effort that has gone into it, and it's a shame that Disney are stupid for getting rid of it. So I'm curious to see how in-depth the fan-made TTRPG goes when I actually get into making it for the show. So this character is called Eugenian, and he is a biker wizard. The idea of him being a biker wizard came from, well, I just wanted to cross two things together that you don't see often, but I also wanted to put a different spin on the muzzle wizard and wizard with guns memes. So I used the costume that I've put on Heihachi because I thought that was a good starting point, but then I wanted to add something to make him stand out more. So the huge beard, as is tradition for wizards to show his age and wisdom, but also his motorbike would be a heavily modified broom to have handlebars, a magic engine to make it go faster, and whatever else is needed. The Cyclops skull working as a headlight was a bit of a last minute thing, but I think it does make the bike stand out more. And the motorbike at the minute is just called Matilda. I may have a better name for it in the future, but right now that's what I'm going with. I know it looks silly, but it was just a joke that I wanted to do. Now, when it comes to how I'm going to make him into a character, I'm going to be using D&D terminology here to avoid spoilers for the actual Owl House series when we do put it up on the channel. However, I am going to give you a little bit of a sneak peek at his backstory. So Eugenian would be part of a noble family, the Vestarians, making his full name Eugenian Vestarian, who were part of the Abomination Coven, which are, for those of you who do not know anything about Owl House, are a kind of... Covens are kind of like schools of magic, and the Abomination one is where they can control golems made of slime, and some of these people will use these golems to help them build mechanical devices. The Vestarians would be a family who do that and make their fortune through making machinery. He would live in a manor with his brother, his sister-in-law, and his niece. However, the noble life isn't really something that Eugenian is particularly fond of being a part of. While he does enjoy the wealth, the whole high-class etiquette thing wasn't really something that appealed to him. One day, however, he would be exposed to biker culture, which would appeal to him, and he would start to act, dress, and speak more in those manners. With his brother and his sister-in-law, however, this would not go down well, and he would be kicked out of the home because his brother felt that he would be a bad influence on his daughter. Eugenian would leave for the sake of his niece and now lives on the road as a travelling badass. However, he still has a very healthy relationship with his niece because she has a little bit of that rebellious attitude in her as well, but he makes sure to keep it a secret so that she doesn't get in trouble. But that's just the bare basics. When it comes to the actual episode, I'll be going into it a bit more, but if it does sound interesting to you, then stick around because it'll be out as soon as we can get it done. Now, onto D&D creation. For the stats, you would have points focused into strength for melee fighting and intelligence for spellcasting. I would put levels in terms of classes for Artificer and Wizard to allow the use of magic and firearms, plus the Outlander background as he travels around. His proficient skills would be Arcana, Athletics, Sleight of Hand, and Survival. Now, the reason I'd be putting Strength into someone who does use firearms is because he would have some melee weapons as well, but When we have used Artificer, and people have been using guns in either games that I've ran, or games that I've been a part of that allow the use of firearms, whenever something along the lines of a sawn-off shotgun has been introduced, which is what Eugenian would be wielding, the DM has ruled that that should be more strength-based than it is dexterity-based, because you have to absorb the impact. Which I think is fair enough, but everyone's got their own ruling and how something like that should work, but I'm getting sidetracked again, sorry. His spell list would focus on aggression like the very classic Fireball, and with a few defense spells like Shield, Mage Armor, and perhaps maybe sometimes I would choose a feat so that he could learn other spells from different classes. If I was playing with a DM that would allow it, Eugenian's weapon of choice would be a firearm, and it would be the kind of shotgun similar to the one that Schwarzenegger uses in Terminator 2, which he would name Annabelle. As for personality, he would be a bit cliche in that he's a loving, wholesome uncle but isn't afraid to kick some ass if he needs to. He would also be cocky, confident, however those would be well earned, but at the same time, humble and respectful. Ultimately though, his attitude towards you would also depend on you as a person. I haven't played as this character yet, but I would really like to in someone's game. And if or when I do, I'll be sure to let those interested know in our Discord. And basically that is Eugenian the Biker Wizard. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video, the story, and the drawing. If you have any characters you'd like to share, then do feel free to leave a comment because we do read all of them and we do like to hear from our audience about their creativity. If you like this video, please consider subscribing because you'll find more like this, but also tutorials on how to get started in TTRPGs as well as how to make characters in lots of different TTRPGs. And if you'd like to meet more creative nerds like myself, then consider joining our Discord because we're all a little bit mad there and we could always do with a bit more madness in there in our cozy little corner of the internet. Thanks again for watching everyone, much love to you all, and remember to keep on rolling.